It's time again for the Science Bowl.
Zoo Parade for 5. What big teeth the hippo has are actually a pair of these. Science Potpourri for 10. Would a snake most likely eat every day? Every week, Dateline Science for 10. Why are some elephants wearing necklaces these days? Green things for 15.
And now, here's your host, Mr. Z himself, Dave Zarin.
Thank you and welcome to the Science Bowl. Today, two outstanding elementary schools here to play our game, the first game in this year's elementary school semifinals. Let's meet the teams. First, from Berwyn Heights Elementary School, say hello to Alexander Swizdak, Elias Herrera Guzman, and Owen McCloskey. And from Mattaponi, here they are, Bryce Stevens, Nora Bachman, and Rennie Pearson. And now here are the categories of questions we use on the Science Bowl.
Okay, Mr. Z, here's today's categories. Green Things, questions about plants and all things green and growing. Zoo Parade, a Noah's Ark of questions about animals. Body Systems, we'll see how much you know about yourself, about things like breathing and growing and digesting your food. Let's Get Physical, questions that test your knowledge of physics and chemistry, earth science and space science. Then there's Science Potpourri. Here's a grab bag of science questions, everything from air pollution to the kitchen sink. And finally, Dateline Science. We'll ask you about science history and science in the news.
Here on the Science Bowl, we arrange our game board according to question difficulty, with the easier questions on the left worth 5 and 10 points, the tougher ones worth 15, 20, and ultimately 25, the toughest question of them all. Both of our teams start out at 50 points. No penalties ever for incorrect answers. And to the 2 rounds, one of these 2 good-looking, talented teams will come back to play our game again and perhaps become one of the 4 finalists in this year's elementary competition. Let's make sure everything works before we start. Let's go to the red team. Elias, try your buzzer for me. Thank you, young man. Good luck to you, to Owen, and to Alex. And Nora, would you try yours? Thank you, Nora. Good luck to you, to Rennie, and to Bryce. Congratulations to making it this far in our competition. Berwyn Heights, welcome. You got a bye in the round because of your success last year. I know we're going to have a good game. We go alphabetically, B before M. So Berwyn Heights, let's start the bowl.
May I get Green Things for 5?
Green Things for 5 points. Teams, on the old television show Gilligan's Island, the professor made a radio out of one of these largest seeds in the world. Berwyn Heights.
Coconut?
Yeah, he took a coconut and somehow he fashioned a radio out of that to see if he could get off that island somehow. They never did. Go red.
May I get Zoo Parade for 5?
Zoo Parade for 5 points. Teams, maybe it's their small eyes, but these animals actually have very good eyesight, which is why it doesn't make any sense to say he's as blind as a what? Mattaponi?
Bat.
Bat, yeah. Bats see very well. They got those really tiny eyes, but yeah, people think they just fly into things, you know, but they have very good senses. Go green.
Zoo Parade for 10.
Zoo Parade for 10 points. Teams, this mammal, which does not see very well, suffers very little predation because it spends most of its life underground. Berwyn Heights?
Mole?
Yeah, moles. They don't see well, but they don't have to. They're just looking for worms, and nothing, more importantly, can see them to eat them. Good answer. Go red.
May I get Body Systems for 5?
Body Systems for 5 points. Teams, there are slang terms for parts of our body. Like our eyes are sometimes called peepers. Our legs are sometimes called gams. And these, especially by men, are called guns. Berwyn Heights.
Biceps. Biceps?
Biceps are arms, yes indeed. Good, go, red.
Let's get Physical for 5.
Let's get Physical for 5 points. Teams, because, you know, we don't like to wear jeans that look new. A lot of times they are washed before we get them in this kind of solution that has a very low pH. Berwyn Heights.
Huh? Bleach?
Not necessarily bleach. Mattaponi, what kind of solution that has a low pH is something that jeans are often washed in before we get them to make them look used?
Rocks.
Acid. Acid-washed jeans. You're thinking of stone-washed, but we needed that chemical there. No points, go red. 70 of 55, Berwyn Heights ahead. Go.
May you get Science Potpourri for 5?
Potpourri for 5 points. Teams, a lot of kids across the country are doing the LeBron these days. They are using this force to purposely fall down and flop onto the floor. Berwyn Heights.
Gravity.
Gravity, that's right. Yeah, LeBron, he's quite the actor. Go, red.
May I get Dateline Science for 5?
Again, please.
Dateline Science for 5.
Dateline for 5 points. Teams, the European Space Agency is planning to make a shot with its space probe known as the Rosetta to see if it can hit one of these dirty snowballs.
Comet.
Elias?
Comet.
Yeah, there's a comet flying through space. They're going to try to hit it and land on it. Imagine that. Go, red. Good answer.
May I get Green Things for 10?
Green things for 10 points. Teams, botanically speaking, lettuce and spinach are not vegetables. They're just these.
Leaves, yeah.
Leaves.
They're just leaves. That's right. Good. Red.
May I get Body Systems for 10?
Body systems for 10 points. Teams, Supreme Court Justice Sonia Sotomayor now has beautiful teeth. But when she was a little girl, her mother gave her iron supplements that caused her teeth to turn brown. What hardest part of the tooth got stained?
Enamel.
Berwyn Heights.
May I pass it on to Alex?
You may.
Enamel.
Enamel. You got it, Alex. Nicely done. Good. Red.
May I get
You're at the century mark at 100. Go.
May I get Let's Get Physical for 10?
Get physical for 10 points. Teams, what planet in our solar system is the 6th largest and second out? Berwyn Heights?
It's Venus. Venus.
Yes, sir?
Venus.
Venus.
Venus, yes. Second out from the sun. Good. Red.
May I get Science Potpourri for 10?
Potpourri for 10 points. Teams, your question is as follows. Because the protein known as albumin that is found in these hardens and is very hard to get off, Justin Bieber was recently arrested for throwing them at his neighbor's house. Mattaponi.
I pass it to Rennie.
Rennie?
Eggs.
Eggs, yes, the albumin in the eggs. When you egg something, boy, it's hard to clean it because that protein just dries and sticks. Good. Green.
Body Systems for 20.
Body systems for 20 points. Teams, recently 3D printers, which are all the rage, made copies of human bronchial tubes. Tubes that lead into what body organs? Mattaponi.
Lungs.
Lungs, indeed. Yes, good. Green.
Zoo Parade for 15.
Zoo Parade for 15 points. Teams, because back in the 1930s, some of these animals were brought from Africa and put into a Florida jungle park and then escaped, they are the only ones of these primates that are living naturally in the United States. They are the rhesus whats? Mattaponi.
Monkeys.
Yes, rhesus monkeys living wild in Florida as we speak. And with that buzzer, our first round is over. Let's check that score. It is a dead heat. Berwyn Heights 110, Mattaponi 100. We'll be back with more Science Bowl in just a moment.
Get ready. Ad Life awaits. Bring your biggest ideas. Work, then play, then work some more. So you will be ready for your moment. You are the future of advertising, and the future starts now. We are the Marcus Graham Project, and this is our ad life. Join the movement.
Welcome back. Good to have you here on Science Bowl today. Two very talented teams, as you just saw, and we're not surprised because this is the beginning of the semifinals. Berwyn Heights got a bye for the first two rounds because of their success last year. Mattaponi has won twice already, so we knew the level of play was going to be up, and we are not disappointed or surprised. Let's find out about our players. Let's go to Berwyn Heights. And Elias, tell us about Berwyn Heights. It's over there near Greenbelt, just off Kenilworth Avenue. And who's your principal?
Dr. Karen Singer.
Dr. Singer. And she's been there for a number of years, and she's just a great principal. I know how much she supports you guys. And the sponsor of your team is Mr. Goldstein, correct? And he's out there. He always sends us wonderful teams. I know his own children were on the team a couple of years ago. And did you have any alternates on your team? I know you did. Who
We
are
have
they?
Kai Aganoy, and we have Marcio Morales, and we also have Peter Roberts.
Wonderful. We'll bring them out because I know they trained as hard as you guys did. You're kind of the shadow team back there. You guys look good too. You got those matching red shirts on. It's cold in here today, and I'm glad you got some long sleeves on. Elias, let me ask you, I like to ask captains about their schools. What do you like best about Berwyn Heights? I know there are a lot of good things about the school. What really do you like to brag about?
I like that the teachers there are actually mixing fun with the teaching, and that you learn more than you usually learn.
You know, isn't that important? If you can't laugh a little bit and just relax, and if you don't see those teachers as real people, boy, it can be a tough school. So I bet it's a fun place. I know it is. Thanks for sharing that with me. And someday, what do you hope to do?
I want to be an engineer.
An engineer. And I know you like gaming, and you're a soccer player too, aren't you? Yeah, so you're a good player. And Elias was here last year as an alternate, and now he's back here as the captain, so he's got some experience, and it shows. You're playing a nice game, young man. Oh, and nice to have you here for the first time. Why'd you want to be on Science Bowl?
Well, my teacher asked me if I wanted to because not many other people got as good of a grade in science as I did.
Boy, that's a really good reason. Go ahead. What else do you want to tell me?
And he kind of explained how it went, and I was interested.
We're glad you're here. What do you like to do in your spare time?
Either building stuff with Legos or playing video games.
Yeah. And are you a Cub Scout or a Boy Scout?
Boy Scout.
Boy Scout. Yeah. What rank are you?
Coming on tenderfoot.
Tenderfoot. Very good. So you're starting out. The eagle was out there somewhere. One day, make sure you get your eagle because it's the mark of success in scouting. One of the many marks. Nice to have you here. What do you want to do someday professionally?
Either inventing or being a psychologist.
Psychologist, wow. All right. Alexander, I know you're interested in Legos as well. Tell me what you want to do someday.
I want to be a certified Lego professional and work with Lego designing things because I just want to get personally better at building Legos. I don't really care what I build, but I have a special preference for dragons.
Wow. All right. Well, you know, Legos, sometimes if you go to Legoland, you see things you hadn't even imagined you could make out of Legos. And sounds like you're really into it. Nice to have you with us today. Mattaponi, nice to have you back again. Bryce and Nora and Rennie, third time here on Science Bowl. Does it get any easier, Nora, or are you still a little nervous?
Still nervous.
Yeah, and you know, I always think that's a good thing. If you're a little nervous, it keeps you on the top of your game. If you're too relaxed, sometimes you make mistakes. You guys don't make many mistakes. Tell me about Mattaponi. Where is it?
It's in Upper Marlboro, Maryland.
Okay, who's your principal?
Dr. Hay.
Dr. Hay out there rooting for you. And who's your sponsor?
Miss Madison.
Miss Madison. She's been sending us great teams for many, many years. She's a great educator. We're very lucky to have her, and she'll be out in a few moments. And I think you had an alternate today, yes?
Yes.
Who's that?
Nyla Blackman.
Nyla. All right, we'll see Nyla in a few moments here. Mattaponi, what's the best thing about that school?
We have extracurricular.
That's a tough word, isn't it? Yeah. Extra things, right? Mm-hmm. Yeah. Like what?
Like you could be in instrumental or you could be in chorus. And also for Science Bowl, you stay after school to practice more. So you could stay for extra activities.
That's really important because, you know, outside of the academics, we all have other interests. And if you can indulge those at school, be they sports or hobbies, that's really important. What do you do extracurricularly?
I play my flute and instrumental.
Very good. All right. What do you want to do someday, Nora?
I want to be an architect.
An architect, yeah, because I know you told me you want to design buildings and houses. I bet you'd be good at that. You should have an inventive kind of personality, and that's what you need. Rennie, good to have you back. What do you do in your spare time?
Probably watching TV or playing games.
Yeah, that's like normal kid stuff.
Sometimes
Yeah.
outside.
Yeah. Do you have any favorite TV shows other than Science Bowl?
Oh, not really.
Not really. Okay. And what do you want to do someday?
I want to be a game designer.
Game designer.
Create games.
Yeah, so you have something in common with some of these other guys up here today. Bryce is an interesting young man. His dad is a pilot, and you fly as well, don't you, Bryce?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. First time you did it? A little scared?
Yes, I thought I was going to fly straight down and crash.
But everything turned out all right? Yeah, I'm sure your dad was there to make sure that. Would you like to be a professional pilot someday?
Yes, along with being an astronaut.
An astronaut. Boy, and that's a normal progression. A lot of astronauts started out as pilots, oftentimes in the military. So you're doing all the right things. What else do you do in your spare time?
I either fly my RC helicopter or I'm watching TV or playing video games.
Wonderful. All right, you got a full life going on over there, Bryce. Nice to have you back. You look good, too, in your matching Science Bowl Mattaponi shirts over there, guys. You look really good, and you're playing well, too. Let's get back into the game. It's a good one. 110 Berwyn Heights, 100 Mattaponi. Lots of points to give away yet. Our last correct answer came from the green team. So, Nora, start us out.
Science potpourri for 15.
Potpourri for 15 points. Teams, you may remember a few weeks ago in West Virginia, some toxic chemical from a coal manufacturing plant leaked into the Elk River. It was very toxic, and as it started out, the threshold of danger was 30 ppbs of that substance in the water. 30 ppbs is 30 parts per what? What's the B, Berwyn Heights? Yes, sir.
Can I pass it on to Alex?
Alex, what's the B stand for? Mattaponi. 30 ppbs. The amount of that toxic chemical in the river was 30 parts per what? Billion. 30 parts per billion of water. Go again, green.
Let's get physical for 15.
Get physical for 15 points. Teams, Transformers was a great series of movies. In real life, Transformers can transform or change direct electrical current into what other kind of electrical current? Berwyn Heights.
Alternating current?
Alternating. DC to AC or AC to DC. Good. Nice answer. Go red.
May I get Dateline Science for 10?
What was the category?
Dateline Science for 10.
Dateline for 10 points. Teams, this is an interesting question. The people in Australia are so afraid of sharks when they go swimming in the ocean that they have tagged hundreds of them. And if any of those sharks comes within half a mile of the shore, it automatically sends to their cell phones what 140-character message to let them know that the sharks are near. Berwyn Heights.
Can I pass it on to Owen?
Owen.
Text message?
A text message? Give me more.
Like, kind of like an email, but in your cell phone, like that could say a shark is coming your way.
You got the right idea, but not quite. Mattaponi, what 140-character message is sent to the cell phones of the beachgoers to let them know that the sharks are nearby?
A page message?
A tweet. A tweet. 140 characters. Go red.
May I get green things for 15?
Green things for 15 points. Teams, what same word means the sticky substance produced by trees and plants and the fleshy substance? Berwyn Heights.
Sap?
Nope. Mattaponi, what same word means the sticky substance found that is produced by plants and trees and the fleshy substance that surrounds your tooth?
Enamel.
Gum.
Oh.
Gum. Sticky substance. Go red. 125 to 100. Elias, you choose.
Body Systems for 15.
Body Systems, 15 points. Teams, Jeff Bezos, who founded Amazon and now owns the Washington Post, recently had to be airlifted out of the Galapagos Islands in great pain because he was suffering from a urinary calculus, otherwise known as what kind of stone? Mattaponi.
Kidney stone?
Kidney stone is right. Yes, good. Green. Rennie, go easy on her over there. Okay.
Dateline for 15.
Dateline for 15 points. Teams, your question is as follows. Carl Sagan, the late Carl Sagan, used to be the host of a TV show called Cosmos. The new host is Neil deGrasse Tyson, which is a good choice because Neil and Carl are both what kinds of scientists? Elias.
Astrophysicists, yeah, probably.
Astrophysicists?
Absolutely. They're both astrophysicists and astronomers. Nicely done, red. Go.
May I get green things for 20?
Green things for 20 points. Seems a visual question. Look at the monitor in the studio, please. This beautifully colored odd organism is part algae that produces the food, and the other part is a fungus that provides the water and the protection. That symbiotic relationship of the two makes this what kind of creature? Name it.
Hybrid?
What is that, Berwyn Heights?
Hybrid, sure. A hybrid?
Not a hybrid, no. Name that organism that is part algae and part fungus.
Coral.
Good try. Lichen. It's called a lichen. Go again, red.
May I get Zuparade for 20?
Zuparade for 20 points. Teams, what three-letter prefix is the name of the company that is now producing a kind of energy bar made from ground-up crickets? The prefix is the prefix for skeleton, indicating the kind of armor found on an insect.
Exto.
What's the name of the company?
Exto.
XO.
XO.
XO, yes indeed, good. Green, exoskeleton.
Let's get physical for 20.
Let's get physical for 20 points. Teams, this is hard to believe, but not too many years ago, you could go into a drugstore and order this kind of spray that would kill bugs, disinfect, and also let you polish your furniture. It was... Berwyn Heights? Yes, sir, what do you want to tell me? Elias?
Pesticide.
Not pesticide. Mattaponi, this thing that you could buy in the drugstore, which is no longer for sale, was called this kind of spray made of a radioactive chemical element with the symbol Ra.
Uranium?
No, just radium. Radium spray, which is radioactive. You could never sell that now because it would give you radioactive poisoning. Go again, please. Green. 135 to 140. You're down by 5.
Science potpourri for 20.
Potpourri for 20 points. Seems your question is as follows. The island of Zanzibar off the coast of Africa recently wiped out all of the tsetse flies that lived there that carried sleeping sickness by doing this S-initial process to them that removed the fertility from all of the males. They sterilized them. They sterilized them so when they mated with the females there were no more baby tsetse flies. Go green.
Zoo parade for 25.
Zoo parade for 25. Big one in that category. Look at the monitor in the studio, please. This is a very tasty viceroy butterfly. It has the good sense, though, to resemble a very foul-tasting monarch butterfly. That kind of behavior is known as this. Mattaponi.
Mimicry?
Mimicry. Absolutely right. It mimics another one to provide protection for itself. Good. Go. Green.
Body systems for 25.
Body systems for 25 points. Teams, it's dangerous getting a tattoo. Not only might you get the name of a girlfriend or boyfriend that you want to get rid of a little bit later, but if the tattoo artist is using a dirty needle, you could get hepatitis, which affects what organ for 25 points? Nora.
The heart.
Ooh, not the heart for 25 points. Go into the lead. Hepatitis affects what organ, Elias? Yes, sir.
Liver.
Liver, yes, indeed. Good. Go red.
May I get green things for 25?
Green things for 25. Big question in that category, teams. Because your baby teeth are shed when your permanent teeth come in, what same adjective describes them as describes trees that lose their leaves in the fall? Berwyn Heights.
I'm going to pass it on to
Alex.
Deciduous.
Deciduous teeth, absolutely. Good. Go red.
May I get Dateline Science for 20?
Dateline for 20 points. Teams, a new book called Science and the Cetaceans of the 20th Century is all about these mammals that started out in our imagination as monsters, then became sources of fats and fertilizers, and today are our playful friends that let us know what the environment of the ocean is all about. Mattaponi.
I pass it to Rennie.
Rennie? Rennie says I'm not going to do it. Berwyn Heights? These mammals that started out as monsters in our imagination soon became sources of fats and fertilizer, and now are playful companions that let us know about the ecological health of the ocean.
Hi, dolphin.
Dolphin?
Whales. Whales was the answer. Monsters, sources of fats and fertilizers were your clues. 3 questions left. 190, 160, go red.
Let's get physical for 25.
Get physical for 25 points. Teams, your question is as follows. This little wind-up toy, like all wind-up toys, has at least one of these kinds of simple machines that have... Berwyn Heights.
Spring?
Not a spring. Mattaponi, there's at least one of these kinds of simple machines in all wind-up toys, a simple machine that has a compound name.
Wheel and axle.
You got it, a wheel and axle. Go green.
Okay. Science potpourri for 25.
Potpourri for 25. Big one in that category. Teams. Girls have to worry about using nail polish these days. The FDA says that young girls have to worry about a trio of toxic chemicals in nail polish, including this F-initialed preservative that we associate with preserving frogs that are used in biology labs. What is the name of that F-initialed preservative chemical that's found in nail polish? Correct answer is formaldehyde. I have one question left. Dateline for 25 points. Mattaponi 185. Berwyn Heights 190. Listen carefully. Teams, paleontologist Mary Leakey found a skeleton in East Africa, a relative of us humans, and she called him Nutcracker Man because he had a very big jaw and lots of these flat teeth he used. Berwyn Heights.
Can I pass it on, Charlie?
Yep.
Molars.
Molars is right, and with that, the game is over, and it looks like Berwyn Heights has done it. We'll be back in a moment.
Engineers Without Borders USA answers the call with more than 225 university and professional chapters from a wide spectrum of disciplines. With more than 400 sustainable engineering projects in more than 45 countries, our organization is changing the world. If you would like to find out more about how you, too, can change the world, visit www.ewb-usa.org and click Get Involved. Engineers Without Borders USA. Building a better world, one community at a time.
Did you know 80% of the world's fur comes from fur farms in China? On these farms, animals live their entire lives in small wired cages. They are exposed to harsh weather extremes. Many animals go insane from confinement. Others suffer and die because of untreated wounds and disease. The unlucky few who survive are bludgeoned to death, have their skulls bashed in, and their skin removed, many while still conscious. There are no laws to protect them, but you can help. Sometimes it's what you don't do that helps the most. Please don't buy fur or fur trim. Contact In Defense of Animals for more information. Thank you.
I can have text all night long, but not when I'm driving.
What's the point of texting me about a party that you might not make it to?
I don't text and drive. Do you?
Do you?
Do you? Did you say text or sex? Hey, I got an idea. As long as you're texting, why don't you write your own obituary, dumb? I don't text and drive.
Do you?
We don't text and drive. Do you?
Brought to you by Rad and Terry Fader. This holiday season, don't let your friends text and drive.
Party!
Welcome back. Boy, here in the studio, we didn't know what was going to happen here. It came down to the last question. That is testimony to how wonderfully matched these teams were. Great kids. We're proud of all of them. Our final tally today is Mattaponi 185, Berwyn Heights 215. Berwyn Heights, congratulations. It is a sea of red over there. Alexander and Elias and Owen and the alternates, the shadow team back there. Wade, where is Kai and Marcia and Peter? Mr. Goldstein, congratulations. Great job. Let me see some big smiles over here, Mattaponi. Now, you guys are super. I don't want to see you leave. Bryce and Nora and Rennie, you did a terrific job. Nyla, our safety patrol back there, just great to have you on the team. And Miss Madison, you do it every year. You send us just the best of the best, and we're just so proud of them and so happy you're part of our game. We're happy you were here today, too. We'll see you next time on another of our semifinal rounds on Science Bowl. Bye-bye.